I have no clue what to do here.
This amber orange ball, hovering above the scientific equipment connected to it, seems to be the reason for what happened in Nashville. You can feel the waves of anomalous radiation emanating from it with your whole body. A pleasant tingling rolls through your skin, and each wave fills your head for a mere moment with strange, rapidly fading images. Without taking your eyes off the sphere, you move closer. You call for Ronald, but the echo of your voice rapidly fades in the vast open space of the cave. You suddenly begin to feel numb. The prickling in your hands and the anomalous radiation pressing against your head grow weaker. But a frightening sensation rises in their stead. An unknown force detaches you from your body and takes you up into the cool, ringing silence. The maelstrom hanging above Nashville embraces you. All of your consciousness unfolds like a giant canvas, hurling you into a dark auditorium. You see the maelstrom swirling over Nashville. Pulling you from the crumbling walls of the base, it lifts your mind above the world. It covers the lands of the dome like a gigantic spot, in the swirling shadow of which the lights of human consciousness flicker. Some of them fade away, barely in contact with the maelstrom. Others grow dimmer and blink painfully. Some glow with a strange, cold light. Gaining strength, the maelstrom, rushing westward, comes crashing down onto the southern lands of the dome, leaving behind hundreds of fluttering and slowly fading lights. After sweeping out Concord and Spire Station, the maelstrom finally calms down. It hangs in the very center of the dome, like a majestic, lazily swirling vortex, and your mind rushes about within it like a shining spark.
Guess that's me right there floating in the air. Weird. Is it gonna kill me?
It takes you some time to realize that you're wandering through a fog. Eventually, the dull, white nothingness begins to dissipate, slowly returning you to reality. A noise fills your ears. A rumble resembling the sound of waves rolling ashore. You step carefully through the white haze. Fragile bits of rock crackle under your feet. Vague shadows appear from the mist over your head. Breached concrete plate bristling with exposed armature. The dusty drill of an earth mover lying on its side. Yellowed documents, boxes. Crushed steel closets that tumbled down through gaps in the floor. The space beneath your feet resembles thick but perfectly transparent ice. A vortex of clouds spins slowly below, the lights still flickering. They're the same lights you saw when you first touched the sphere. The lights are actively moving, wandering, gathering. Iridescent, they form both small and large groups. And the desert far below changes, following their pattern. Settlements appear in the north, in the east, in the west, and even in the dull yellow barrens of the south. They grow right before your eyes, as if time were moving ahead at incredible speed.
The hell's going on? Is this thing like changing? Did it destroy the cities and it's like changing the map? Ethereal. Oh, that's ethereal, like an ethereal body and the umbilical cord to attach it. Oh, they're going deep here, man. That's like shamanic stuff there. Yeah.
Clara is surrounded with white light and mist, her hands clasped in prayer. She reminds you of an angel statue from some reformist church. Seeing you, her expression changes. She crosses herself, mumbling under her breath.
Shot boo. Get her to come down. You're not a ghost.
She nods timidly.
Yes, I see. This, both you and this mist, it's all in my head.
She steps towards you and kneels.
I must repent.
Oh, Lord.
Clara's voice trembles.
When Maelstrom broke, I didn't try to save anyone. I just got in the truck and drove away. I'm a terrible sinner. I know. I hope you're in heaven.
She raises a face, distorted.
Oh, you're in hell. What the?
Clara sighs heavily.
I see. Why are you appearing to me? Is this some sort of a sign? Do you know about signs? This is when...
Her voice suddenly becomes deep and thick. She drawls as if her words were being played from a corrupted tape.
Abbott is very kind to me, but his fate is nothing I could get used to.
She says in a dull voice.
I have no clue what just happened. We're on steel.
Come on, don't be shy.
You, wow, this is amazing. I am certain you are dead. I'm almost disappointed so just so far away. Do you know how real it was if I've been keeping myself through all this stressful trouble? You know, I look at that right now from my perspective. No such computer or anything was like how I Young Ginsburger. Oh, y'all disappearing. Hunter raises his hand as aiming at his gun at you. Holy shit, he looks empty-handed, full of expression. Ginsburg looks up and examines your face with suspicious squint. Do you know you? Yes, I do. Shit, oh shit, oh shit, what the crap. Quick. His face, have you gone nuts with just me? I said the glasses the church shelf. Crap, oh Lord. Maybe it's not the glass of all kinds of shit that people press with me. Just waiting for something. Okay.
There's no doubt. The funny, scruffy old man standing before you is Aaron Melville, the old man from the gas station. He also recognizes you.
It's you. Long time no see.
A smile wrinkles his already wrinkled face.
Ah, it's you. Long time no see, sweetheart.
Melville examines you closely.
Safe and sound, I see. How'd you pull that off? No one survived where you were heading. The only worst place is the center of the dome, where the spire... Well, you know.
The old man points vaguely upwards with his crooked finger.
You're aware, aren't you? The spire is fallen. Now the road's closed. As if folks would want to come here anyway. And here we stay, like crabs in a barrel.
He thumps his timber leg on the ground, driving the mist away. Melville's face seems to petrify. He speaks slowly, but flounders anyway.
The gas station can be crowded nowadays. Everybody needs my gas station. Oh, folks went crazy, I tell you. Fighting over nothing.
The old man woefully shakes his head. A dazzling supernova-like flash swoops across your view. The lights, frozen in the desert, start to move, and a cloudy funnel begins to slowly trail after them. The funnel spreads out under your feet. Flickering waves of lights drift northward, driven by the winds of a maelstrom. Not just a maelstrom. Maelstrom. Its shadow covers the west and south of the dome, as if it was extinguishing the lights scattered across the desert. A gray-haired man, arms stiff at his sides, stands squinting short-sightedly into the mist. Kingsley is much shorter in person, and older. He notices you.
I never thought we'd meet again. I must thank you. Thanks to your report, I was able to start the evacuation in time.
Martin comes closer. You notice small changes in his uniform. Some of the insignia have been replaced by larger patches resembling military chevrons. Kingsley nods as if anticipating your question.
Yes, the uniform is new, but the man is the same. Head of Magellan Base. I intended to resign after the incident, but Nakamura decided otherwise. I couldn't argue with her.
He surveys the thick mist around you.
One thing's certain. You're standing here. That means you're alive. Yes, I know what this is, partly.
He looks you in the eye and says,
Scientists on the emulator project have been telling us a lot about it. Not everything, of course. Even they don't know what it is.
Okay.
Van Olden looks the same as he did during your first meeting. The same shiny glasses with thin rims, an arrogant expression, and a stopwatch clutched in his hands. He's examining a shred of mist hanging in the air. He's so involved in his research that he doesn't notice you at first. Meeting your eyes, the scientist instantly darts back. Then he comes up to you and begins to palpate your face, hands, and clothes. His fingers seem to sink in your face. Sebastian Van Olden screws up his lips scornfully.
Yes, of course. A thought form, like the pink mist, I suppose, or any other similar anomaly. As was to be expected.
The white winces.
Have you any grasp of the context? I'm talking about anomalies. The pink mist is obviously a term particular to this field. A thought form. Well, it's a derivative of this pink mist. Eyewitnesses often see people in it.
Sebastian smiles dreamily.
I see answers in it myself. Numerological sequences which... But you probably wouldn't understand.
The scientist loses all interest in you, steps aside, and continues to study the mist. You smell quartz and sand tempered in the sun. But as you try to penetrate the dispersing mist, you can't see any desert. The world around you is full of pictures. They're floating around like visions in some crystal ball. A hall covered with carpets. A golden Cronus logo on the wall among wine-red banners. A power plant. A city filled with lights. Mercenaries, soldiers, armored vehicles moving through the cool wasteland in the night. The spire of a temple spire, its searchlight shining into the night sky. White corridors of research complexes. The visions fade one after another until only the last remains. The black silhouette of a strange building towering up from the lighter sand. This picture freezes before your eyes, as if giving sense to everything that came before.
You gotta talk to me.
You hear heels clicking. It's a woman. You've never met her. She looks at you with surprise. She stands so close you can see multicolored. Naturally, she fails. The woman chuckles discontent. A wizened old man, long and lean as a scare. His stony black eyes resemble those of a blind.
Such remarkable technology.
He says in a low, well-modulated voice. He smiles, a warm and kindly expression, wildly at odds with the menace in his eyes.
Name your price, and I'll buy your design. But be reasonable. Take time with your answer. Think it through.
With the smile still fixed on his face, he steps... the fuzzy mist as if whisked with a mixer. He clasps his hands behind his back and stops a few steps away. Vivid interest flashes in his eyes. He clears his throat.
I'm out of jokes about death. Or about Mr. Christ. I'm out of jokes about hallucinations. Although hallucinations under the dome aren't any joke, but an everyday reality.
The man circles you. His glance bounces from your face to your uniform, to your shoes and back.
But you are something else. So, let's see. A pre-war haircut, old-time uniform, clean and pressed. Shoes aren't worn out, just got them.
He frees his plump palm and carefully touches you with one finger.
You are ethereal, but light-tight. You respond to my movements. You are not using an image that's familiar to me. You don't look like anyone I know. And your badge says...
He raises himself on tiptoes and fixes his eyes upon your badge.
The name. Of course. Of course. The name.
He flings his arms about and leaves without even saying goodbye. The fluctuant white slope. The woman rolls her eyes discontentedly.
Are you serious? Tuesday, I tell you. Wednesday, I tell you. Thursday. How come I always repeat the same thing? I can't sleep without my pills. You're the man. You're responsible for me. The nightstand.
The man nods automatically. Lost. The woman clasps her hands in front of her chest. She's boiling with frustration.
I can't depend on you, can I? I haven't been able to relax in years because I have to control the situation for both of us. Johan! Hello! My pills!
Her shouts break through the man's pondering. He comes to his senses and stares at you in surprise. Then he turns to face his companion. Olivia falters and points her finger at you.
And what is this? Or who is this? Mind telling me, without the never-ending riddles, Johan. Just tell me.
Johan gives you an appraising look.
Is it Maelstrom? Hobbit trying out a new device? I don't know, darling. Now, be so kind to take these goddamn pills since you remembered. And if you must yell to it quietly, I have a migraine.
The woman flings her arms up fiercely and walks away. An unfamiliar woman steps out of them. She's wearing a tall, crudely made tin crown. She smiles, although on her, this expression is more like an evil grin. She begins to prowl around you in a circle, wary eyes locked on your face. While circling around you, she steps into the mist and stops in place, a vague, distant silhouette. The mist fades away. You see a short, dark-skinned man with a grim face. He's wearing a brightly colored turban. You take a step towards him, and he strides forward as if to block your way.
The ends justify the means, don't they? Have your scientists nothing better to do, Kimiko?
The stranger raises his hand, forcing you to stop. He looks up again.
We have to be like the Soviet Union and Germany in the late 1930s. Mutual favors, mutual limits, parity. We've always worked on such terms.
As he finishes speaking, his lips stop. The man in the turban keeps standing there, a lean figure looking angrily upward.
took forever. This place is demolished. Let's play some more Encased, man, and see what's going on. This thing took me a on a wild psychedelic trip. I guess that's one way to put it. Oh, where is everybody? Oh wow, that thing destroyed everything, bro. So it did destroy. So it wasn't like just a mind trip. It did destroy everything. Oh, bro, that ain't good. Gotta be some way out of here. There's some light. Oh no. It's gonna make me cannot use what? Oh, it's gonna make me ditch the server shell. Oh, bruh. Yeah, they gonna let me bring the server shell.
Light. Bright light. You shield your face with your hand. After the darkness of the cave, it feels like broken glass rubbed into your eyes. You slowly spread your fingers. At first, you can't see anything, only a blind whiteness. Gradually, the pulsating light resolves into the outlines of a red rock and a tall white structure at its foot. The screen on your Kairos blinks. The system reports an error while trying to update the built-in atlas. When the maps reload, the icons are gone. Only a single marker indicating your location remains. Well, you're still near Nashville, at least judging by the coordinates.
Weird. Right-wing employee. Huh.
And security specialists are closely monitoring the maelstrom phenomenon. Confidence in our new committee authorities. The problem will be solved as soon.
Oh man, so like everything got jacked up. Huh. Freezer. Let's go see what the map looks like. Station, picnic, neutral zone. Huh. Oh look, there's the big thing. There's the maelstrom. Wow. So this is the whole dome, okay? Oh, they had camping, okay. Nashville Facility. Let's see what Nashville is like.
You wander through the desert and suddenly fall, fainting for a moment. A quiet hum, like that of a huge bell, fills your head. The space around you is again hidden behind waves of fog. But now it's different. This even white haze conceals everything unnecessary, highlighting the important. In the northeast, a flickering column of blue light can be seen beating straight up through the clouds, like the beam of a huge lighthouse directed into the sky. Without taking your eyes off the beam, you struggle to get up. Each step requires great effort and your head is splitting. These are not the effects of sunstroke, and what you're seeing is no mirage. This is something else. Something is happening inside your head.
Keep going no matter what. Use your medical knowledge.
You search through the pockets of your uniform and find several pills. Some to treat high blood pressure and a few painkillers. You put the pills in your mouth, and after a while, you feel better. The headache and hum soon pass. All that remains is a slowly dissipating fog and the blue glow fading away in the distance. You've seen this fading glow before, but from a different angle. The explosion that flashed through the clouds pushed apart by Maelstrom. This strange beam of light is what remains. It must mean something. Maybe there to the northeast is where your path now lies.
Strange. The abandoned collector from tires after expression appears lifeless at first, but only at first. The quick fading echo leads you to a nearest tunnel. Look inside, you see several dim figures in the distance. Binoculars. Necroids. Oh shit. That's not good. Sneak path. Oof. So there's monsters. Monsters now. We have to old Nashville. Let's save it.